Hello, great people. Thanks for meeting me and my lovely guest today on Believe in Your Better podcast. And I have this marvelous woman who is also a professional colleague of mine. She is a licensed professional counselor, but she lives in Florida, so they um, classify your therapy as licensed mental health counselor,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Mhm.
It's weird, isn't it? How different states it's the same profession. We gotta have to have the same credentials, but everybody wants to tweak the name.
Right.
So, um, you guys, this is Miss Linette Davis, and I'm proud to say we met through a master class with Eric Thomas, and we have became the growing buddies, right?
For sure.
So, um, it's really, really, really good to meet people that's on the same level as yourself that want to grow and help. So let me give you guys a little bit of information about um, Miss Linette. She is a transformational coach, speaker, and author of Take Flight and Thrive. Ooh, I like that title. Take Flight and Thrive. She helps high achieving women heal from emotional pain, reclaim their identity, and break free from limiting patterns so that they can thrive with confidence, peace, and purpose. All right. Through a powerful blend of clinical insight, personal resilience, faith, and aviation inspired transformation frameworks, Lynette empowers women to move from surviving to soaring in every area of life. All right. Yeah. Congratulations. We
Thank you. Thank
need
you.
that, right? 'Cause, yeah, we need that from all ends of the earth.
Listen, every
So,
day, especially now.
yes, yes, we need some good coping methods, some strategic, wellness moves. And that's why I'm glad to have you on my podcast. Excuse me, because not only are you a licensed therapist, you have credentials in education and experience with helping others. You have gone through some life experiences for yourself that you can definitely give your advice for the emotional healing and the mental guidance that people would need. So, with that, let's hear from you, ma'am. Go ahead, start where you want to. I will follow you.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much. I'm honored to be
Yes.
alongside you. And, the invite for your podcast is special. I know you've had some heavy hitters and you're doing your thing and really empowering people, young people. It's so
Thank
important
you.
to
Thank
show
you.
up and to be yourself and to share your passions and your purpose. So I
Mhm.
thank you for this time. It's sacred and I appreciate you having me.
Thank you. Thank you. It is my mission. Like you've heard me say before, I want for people to know wherever you are, that's not the end. It's
Yeah,
just a little
absolutely.
space in your life. And we're here to help you get through it so that you can believe in your better and get to your greatness. Okay. So
Agreed.
go
Yeah.
ahead, Miss
Yeah.
Lynette. Go
No,
ahead.
I'll pick up right where you left off. And a lot of people get stuck where there's pain
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know how to navigate their way out of it. And
Right.
so sometimes people settle in the pain and they stop pursuing the promise. They stop
Mm-hmm.
pursuing their purpose. And so pain ends up winning. But
Mm-hmm.
truthfully, the pain is only an indicator of what's to come because the pain comes before the promise. It comes
Mm-hmm.
before the purpose. And so when pain comes into your life, I know it seems counterintuitive, but spiritually it's time to almost get excited,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Okay.
you're
Okay.
always going to be tested before you get the testimony. And for me in my personal testimony, anytime I've experienced abuse, betrayal, grief, um, anytime when my worth was questioned or I was put down because of circumstances or people came against me or people lied on me, deep hurts and deep pains,
Mm-hmm.
it always was the precursor to God doing something amazing in my life.
There you
And
go.
it's very difficult to understand that when you're experiencing the pain. But if
Mm-hmm.
you truly believe that God is who he says he is and we serve a big God, just know that everything works out in your favor. And that's Romans 8:28. It's
Mm-hmm.
like all
All
things
things
are
work
going to work
together.
out. If they
Yes.
haven't worked out
Yes.
yet, then the story is not over. But what I know to be true is that the things that happen in my life to break me and the things that were intended to leave me broken on a permanent level,
Mm-hmm.
those are the very things that God took by the grace of God, put it under grace. And now
Mm-hmm.
those things have become blessings. Those things have become testimonies. Those things have turned turned itself into a means of me experiencing joy.
Okay.
And it's only through the grace of God because two people can go through abuse and trauma and hurt and
Mm-hmm.
pain and be leveled. But the difference when someone comes out versus where someone stays stuck in it
Mm-hmm.
is the application of God's grace. Did you carry it or did you conquer it? And
Mm-hmm.
so when pain comes, it's also an opportunity to strengthen yourself. It's also an opportunity to strengthen your relationship with God. It's also an opportunity to become stronger in the Lord
Okay.
and to overcome so you have a testimony.
All right. All right. So now let's go over a few of those elements because um one, there's a certain amount of forgiveness that has to take place for you to be able to understand the journey that you're about to take and to move forward. You mentioned about this is a time to praise God for the situation, but how would you suggest people do that when one, they may not understand how
Mhm.
this is a blessing or how they will be blessed in spite of it? Tell
Yeah.
me what steps or what strategies would you give someone who's like you said they're stuck and they don't
Yeah,
understand those elements? Go ahead.
absolutely. So I'm glad you said that because what I shared was the big picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring it all the way down to the moment. You're in
Okay.
the pain,
Mm-hmm.
you're questioning your worth, you're questioning why me, you're questioning the gravity of the heaviness of the experience or what you've been experiencing.
Okay.
And going back to those moments, one thing that I needed or I felt like I needed was some closure.
Okay.
And I felt like I needed the apology that I desperately deserved.
Okay.
And so someone listening may feel that same weight. It's like I can't really move on until this happens or until something happens. And for me, one thing I had to do was I had to relinquish what I actually deserved. So in my situation, I experienced sexual trauma as a child.
Okay.
From that, my family, extended family, they all betrayed me in the sense of they supported the abuser.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted me to lie about the abuse, sweep it under the rug, pretend it did not happen, and to
Okay.
just move forward and for me to kind of just be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt very invalidated and I wanted to be heard. I wanted to be acknowledged and I deserved those things.
So wait,
Had to get
so tell me this. Were you said a child, so were you a little one or a teenager?
I was a little child.
Okay.
I was in
So
elementary school.
okay, so elementary age, the British call them wee ones. So all right, you you were that young, but when did you come into the realization that you needed to have an apology? Was that when you became older and understood some more dynamics?
I was in middle school. So at this point, we did tell, and I was in the court process. And a
Okay.
lot of things were happening, like family members were sending other family members to the house to say, oh, maybe she lied, maybe it's her fault. You guys need to undo this and say
Mm-hmm.
you don't want him to go to prison and all the things. And so there was so much trauma, psychological harm,
Yeah.
manipulation happening
Mm-hmm.
in my personal life, that it was it was overwhelming because when I disclosed the abuse, what I thought was going to happen was I was going to be validated. And I thought that that was like, I
Right.
can finally have safety.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
can
I was just going to
finally,
say, you didn't feel protected?
no, not at all. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I thought I was going to get because I
Okay.
had to overcome a lot of intimidation in order to get to the point where disclosing was the better thing than falling for
Mm-hmm.
the intimidation and the abuse.
Okay.
And so, in doing that, and then that moment turning into more abuse, betrayal, and a huge sense of abandonment,
Mm-hmm.
that was very discouraging. And
Okay.
so, I wanted an apology from everybody at this
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
not just the abuser, but everybody
Right.
after that who treated me poorly and badly. And I came from a family that was very tight knit.
Mm-hmm.
Like my family, like on holidays, like everyone gets together and,
Yes.
that was my family, but all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't need a holiday to celebrate or to have dinner or to
Right.
be in close proximity. I came from a very cohesive unit.
Okay.
And so to experience that level of abandonment, it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just I felt abandoned on a holiday. I felt abandoned now every single day.
Right. Right.
So the intensity of the abandonment played a big part in my sense of rejection within my
Yes.
family unit.
Mm-hmm. So now, as you're going, so how long did this process take from the time of the incident until did they go to prison or were they
They
allowed to come
did.
home? Okay.
They did end up going to prison. I felt like during when that happened, my younger cousins were told that I ruined the family. And so I became like the
Oh
black sheep of the
no.
family.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, the
This child
rejection,
is the black sheep of the family.
right? Yep.
Okay. Okay.
My
So,
cousins came up to me and were like, we were told that you ruined our family.
hmm and how old were you then?
I was in middle school.
Okay, middle school then. All right. So as you are um maturing and you're carrying this weight, at what time did you, well, did anyone ever seem to protect you so that you could grow whole?
It's interesting that you asked that. So yes, my parents, in a unique way. So
Okay.
yes, they did protect me. Yes, they allowed me to speak on my behalf, and they did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Culturally, counseling was not something that was widely
All
accepted.
right. Mm-hmm.
And so I went to one counseling session and I ended up being pulled from counseling because they just didn't want me to share the family business and all the things. So
Okay.
I was protected from the abuser, but I never really was given full permission to heal
Right.
in a
Right.
way that allowed me to talk to other people about what happened.
Okay. All right. Um, so how long was it before you moved away from home?
I moved away from home for college.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, did you go to college nearby or out of state?
I did. I went to Rollins College in Winter Park, so about 30-minute drive. But listen, it felt like it was far enough, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Because my family all lived very close together,
Mm-hmm.
and they still do. So being 30 minutes away felt like a whole different world.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Um, so all right, as you become an adult, at what time did your real healing start?
So my real healing started, that's such a good question. Um, I want to share this. So this is a part of my healing. So I
Okay.
can't skip over it. I struggled as a young child because we all went to the same church. So we're
Mm,
all praying to the same God. They're sitting on one side of the church. Me and my family are sitting on the other side of the church. And I couldn't understand how I was praying at this time for the abuser to go to prison and to be held accountable. And
mm-hmm.
they were praying for him not to be. And that
Okay.
was very confusing for me as a child.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember praying and worshiping God, and God gave me a vision. And that vision was of me in the future, standing on stage, sharing my testimony of how I overcame.
Really?
And I walked off of the stage and I was just hugging women and embracing
Okay.
them and letting them know, like just encouraging them.
Mm-hmm.
And that vision, Dana, was the start of my healing.
And how old were you?
I don't remember the age, but at this point, I was either just getting into middle school or just finishing. I think I was right at the start of middle school.
Okay. Okay. And that was your vision. And so now, did you take the energy of that, the hope of that vision, to make your decisions like what school to go to, which jobs to take? It's like, no, God showed me this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going on the other side of the world. Did you stick with that level of confidence that that was your purpose?
Yes. So in
Okay.
a lot of ways, yes. But even
All
before I
right.
got there, that
Mm-hmm.
vision saw me through a lot of the stuff that I had yet to experience from my family.
Okay.
So a lot of that rejection that we talked about, that hadn't happened yet.
All
But
right.
because I had a vision, I knew that whatever I was facing, I would get to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I saw it, I believed it. So there
Okay.
was no question that I would heal. There was no question that I would be able to be an advocate, a counselor. I would be able to help others through the pain that God brought me through.
All
So
right.
through depositions, through the the court battle, through different
Mm-hmm.
things that happened with my family, I never got stuck because I saw beyond it. God gave me the vision of me far beyond those things.
Okay.
Um, Ultimately, I did study law, but I decided to shift out of law. I wanted to be an attorney helping women and children. I
Okay.
shifted out of that and then got into the counseling field. During my master's in counseling is the first time that I actually had the opportunity to process my own trauma in therapy.
Yes. Yep. I tell people all the time, hey, your first class, my first professor, he was like, okay, you're your first client. And I was like, oh, what now? Look, I always have to do
Yeah.
that double take. Like,
Like
what?
what? Yeah.
Yeah. You're the client. All the little exercises, and it stays the whole until you finish that program.
Yeah. Yes.
So that is a good healing process though, for you to
Hmm.
look at some things and it's like, oh, that's why you know how sometimes you might have little, as people they love throwing this term trigger,
Yeah.
how that's where it came from when you were 10 and they took your this and you had to go sit in the corner and it's like, wait, why am I in trouble? That people pleasing, you find out where that starts.
Yep.
So for you, you were in school going through the courses, and so when you were realizing certain things that still hurt, did that slow down your progress?
I don't think it slowed down my progress. I think it deepened my progress.
Okay.
I I had come out of a cycle, a beautiful cycle. So
Mm-hmm.
God allowed me to work at every agency that I walked in as a child victim. So the state attorney's office, the child
Mm-hmm.
protection team. I had to go through them to do the medical exam and interviews, forensic interviews, and all those things. And I
Okay.
ended up being able, by the grace of God, working at every agency that I went through as a child victim, but as a
Mm-hmm.
healed woman.
Okay.
When I
Okay.
started therapy, what I realized is that everything that God did through me, He
Mm-hmm.
was going to do for me. And I had never fully, I knew how to help other people because
Okay.
I knew what I went through and I knew what was missing and I knew the gaps and I knew deeply the pain that other people experienced.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to give myself permission to receive that same help.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
what I didn't have a safe place to do that. I was the safe person, but I never had a safe place to do that until I was in
Until
my master's program.
okay. That's good. And that's good that you saw that.
Mhm.
So talk about the steps, the self-care personal steps that you took when you realized that. And um I always like to tell my clients, be your own best friend. Treat
Mhm.
yourself the way you treat a best friend. Are you kind and loving? Do you bring them special surprises? You know what I mean? Hey, you going to the grocery store, you know your friend likes these cookies and you go get them just to make them smile. But do you do those things for yourself? Are you that attentive towards yourself? So, did any of that begin once you saw that you were now in a safe place to really work out your healing?
I would say it was a slow crawl for me with the self-care.
Okay.
I learned,
I'm glad you said that and be, to be honest and truthful with it. It's
mhm,
not something that's always easy. It's not.
yeah, I didn't see value in it, to be honest, in
Oh,
the beginning.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought it was a waste of time.
Oh no. No, no, Lynette, no.
Yeah, I think that was more culturally because like growing up in a Caribbean household, there's no
Mhm.
vacations. There's no take time off for work to do nothing. Like
Oh.
that doesn't exist.
Okay, wait, go back now. Coming from a Caribbean household, I don't remember you mentioning that.
Yes. So I come from a Jamaican family
Okay.
and everyone works extremely hard. There's no days
Yes.
off per se. There's no leisure unless it's Christmas or New Year's. Like it's very hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work. Like
Mm-hmm.
so I learned that, I had to prove myself and my value was rooted
Always. Yeah.
in how much I can help other people, how much
Mm-hmm.
I can do. So self-care was a foreign language to
Okay.
me.
All right.
And I couldn't understand why everybody was just doing nothing or going to the spa or going to the beach. Like I didn't understand that world.
Okay. So now, uh, how long have you lived over here
Oh, I was born in America. So I've
in
lived
Florida?
in
Okay.
Florida, yeah,
But
for most of my life.
your
Yeah.
home life was okay.
Mhm.
So how have you evolved in the sense of, like you said, leisure, vacations, downtime? Are you grasping it now?
Yes, yes, friend. I am for sure grasping it now. I had to learn to take time to learn my own needs.
Okay.
And
Excellent. Excellent
yeah,
observation. Yes.
that took a long time to just sit with myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I never had a problem being by myself. I'm an only child. So I never had a problem with that. But I don't think I ever took the time to really say, Linette, what do you want? What do you need? What is
Mm-hmm.
best for you? And I think the what is best for me
Okay.
is where I started to shift. Okay, let me take time to really take care of myself.
All right. All
And for
right.
me, it involved writing, it involved processing my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It involved, and I think that's really where my first book originated from was the need to process and sit
All
and
right.
really um, get what was in my mind and my heart out onto paper.
Okay. All right. Now, did you attend the Audacity uh author activation weekend?
Oh no, I did not.
You didn't? I think that would be really good for you.
Nice.
Ye-
Yeah, I'll check it
Yeah.
out for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's let's start. So as you began to heal, did you find how you showed up in relationships to be different?
Yes. I would say, in relationships, one thing that's really important is to be able to communicate your needs.
Yes.
And
Understand
so,
your needs and
yes,
communicate. Yes, ma'am.
yep, understanding
Sure.
them and then being able to communicate them. And I
Sure.
think that that really helped because I had a very good awareness of what they already were.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So as you found a mate, did it stick? Because sometimes we know it in our head, but we don't exercise that principle. So did as you dated or and when you got married, did you hold back your emotions? Did you hold back your thoughts in the spirit of thinking, I don't want to upset them. I want to, please them. How did that how did that evolve for you?
So I'm glad you asked that because I feel like so many women end up in this as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I knew what my needs were. I did communicate them. I did end up in a space where I accepted when they weren't met.
Okay.
And so the standard, I think, got lowered because of love or in the name of love.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so
Okay.
my needs ended up being pushed to the side, and their needs ended up being elevated as
Mm-hmm.
priority. And now I have learned, and I know very well how important it is to maintain my needs as a priority as well for my own health, for my safety, and for
Mm-hmm.
the growth of the relationship.
Right. Right. It's two people in the relationship, and so therefore two thoughts, two minds,
Yep.
two different desires, two different just opinions on certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They
the
have to be cultivated.
self-sacrificing of my needs is self-abandonment.
Mm-hmm.
And no relationship is worth self-abandonment. No healthy relationship is even going to ask you to
Right.
abandon yourself.
Exactly. Even with the kids,
Absolutely.
even with them. Okay. All right. So as you were going through that time, tell me um, what was a certain belief that you had to get rid of in order to become healthy?
Okay. I would say the belief that I'm alone.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that one's for me, I feel like how the enemy always uses to attack me
Mm-hmm.
in the sense of when you feel deeply alone, that's a place where there's not a lot of hope. There's not a lot of light.
Okay.
And so when people feel alone, they're always on defense, or they're
Mm-hmm.
always in a space where they're in defense mode, and they're not living in alignment with who they are. They're not
Right.
free to evolve or to grow or
Absolutely.
to navigate forward. You're stuck when you feel alone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to undo that thinking that I'm alone because when I felt alone, everything was on my shoulders. When I felt alone, I felt like I had to make all the decisions. There's a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But coming out of that, I recognize that not only am I not alone, but I have God on my side. And so
There you
I'm,
go.
even though I may be lonely, I'm not alone.
Right.
And
Right.
so my decisions, my progress, my growth, I'm in collaboration. I'm being led. I'm not alone. And so
Mm-hmm.
changing my mindset around that has been a gift. It's been a blessing, and
Okay.
it's brought me comfort in all seasons.
Okay. Now I want you to describe that feeling, the physical, um, the physical aspects of when a person is feeling stuck, when they believe that, hey, there's nothing out here for me, I'm a loser, no one wants me. help people to understand how that shows up in their decision making and in physically in their body.
Yes, definitely. So, one of the first things that you might feel is like apprehension or anxiety or like a constant spiral of thoughts that bring you worry or
Mm-hmm.
make you feel like you can't decide. It's almost like you're in fight or flight, but you can't move. You can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Another way that it shows up is sadness. It could be discouragement or a
Mm-hmm.
lens of negativity where you
Right.
see everything through a negative lens. You're unable to see the
Everything.
positive. Yeah.
Always fussing and complaining.
Yep.
Always. And they have the feeling of anger. It's
Hmm.
just like a
Yep.
shield that they wear and not even paying attention to the unbalance that's in their lives.
Right. And the heaviness. There's a heaviness
Mm-hmm.
that comes with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So, and what were some movements, like you said? So, you know that you're not alone. God is walking with you. Um, you are, you know, you got you're on a journey because you got some place to be. You're going to
Yep.
be taking care of some folks. Tell us, how did you move in those spaces, um, in a sense of happiness or a sense of joy to know, hey, this is that was just a moment in time. It's not
Mhm.
forever. It's not the one thing that's running me. So how were you able to move? Let us know. What did that look like?
If I understand you correctly, you're saying, how did I navigate some of the situations that I went through?
How did you navigate once you believed where you were going? Like you said,
Yep.
you knew who you were, you had your identity, but how did those steps show up for you as you moved towards your goal?
Okay. I'll talk about the first step. I think that again, like disconnecting from the need for closure,
Mm-hmm.
allowed me to tap into forgiveness
Mm-hmm.
because once I didn't need anything from the very people and person that hurt me the most,
Yes.
I began to give myself permission to understand forgiveness from a different lens.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So a
So
lot of
needed.
people understand the religious aspect of like, oh, if you don't forgive, you're going to go to hell. Or they think that, and they think this for a reason because a lot of families require you to co-sign the abuse in order to forgive, or,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I want you to forgive and forget. So the actual meaning of forgiveness, a lot of people veer away from it because they think that forgiveness means that I allow you full access back into my life. I allow you to keep mistreating me. I allow you back into my world where you've shown that you're unsafe. And that's
Mm-hmm.
not what forgiveness is. So, in disconnecting from the closure that I deserved, I had to relearn what forgiveness actually is. And then I
Okay.
had to implement forgiveness. And so, forgiveness doesn't mean that you allow people back into your life full access. It doesn't mean that
Right.
you're co-signing the hurt or the things that they did to hurt you. Doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
that at all. It means that you bring what happened to the cross and
Okay.
you relinquish that heaviness. You take it out of your hands, out of your heart, out of your mind, and you say, God, this is no longer mine.
Mm-hmm.
And you disconnect and you unhook it from the way
You
that
said
you think.
unheard.
You unhook it from the way that you think. You unhook it from your identity and you put it back at the cross where it always belonged. And
Okay.
so I'm no longer carrying the weight of that experience. I'm no longer carrying the anger. I'm no longer carrying that victim mindset that tried to hook itself to my identity. I'm no longer carrying the shame of what happened. I'm no longer carrying what silenced me for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's a good way to absorb it. So now what do you do for your clients who may not have a religious background and even understand those steps? How do you
Mhm.
help them to move forward? or
Ironically,
understand, well, let me say, understand forgiveness because, or that
yeah.
that need, well, I just want to know. I need
Mhm.
closure. What does that mean? Tell me what that means and what will it really for real do for you if that
Mhm.
person never says I'm sorry or my fault or so are you not going to heal? I ask them that. I ask my clients, are you
Mhm.
not going to heal if you don't get that? So,
Yeah.
how do you move your people?
So all of my clients are actually Christian women, but if
Oh, okay.
I did not have a Christian woman who asked me that same question,
Mm-hmm.
I would get her to describe to me what forgiveness means to
Mm-hmm.
her.
Yes.
And in there, I'm sure that there's some things that are not construed properly to her, that forgiveness is a benefit to her. And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of people see and understand forgiveness as the benefit of the person who hurt them. They don't see it
Right.
as what the benefit is to
For them.
them,
Yes.
their
Yes.
peace, their
Yes.
inner stillness, their clarity, their ability to relinquish pain and to process pain and to detach from pain. So we
Mm-hmm.
would rework what forgiveness actually is and its benefit to them.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. I just asked that because sometimes you, well, you don't, but like, let's say that you were speaking at
Mhm.
a shelter or something, and because they tune out if you try to tell
Oh, for
them,
sure.
yeah, they'll tune out. And it's like, well, no, just listen a little bit. I got
Yeah.
something for you. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, um, through through all of this, has any of your family, the ones who, like you said, you felt they abandoned you and
Mhm.
or did abandon you when you were young, have any of them come to you to look, request forgiveness?
No, and it's
No.
okay.
All
Nope.
right.
Yep.
It seems like you know how when sometimes though when people get older, that I remember when you were a little one and da da da, and
Mhm.
I'm sorry that I. Oh, you remember that? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you then.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
interesting that you say that, because ironically, there was a situation, and one of my family members blurted out, "Oh, you haven't forgiven me." And I said, "Actually, I have. I have forgiven you." And I
Mm-hmm.
looked that person in the face and I told her, I have forgiven you. I forgave you a long
Okay.
time ago, but I have forgiven you. And it's interesting because I still don't need her validation,
Yes.
but it was almost like she needed mine
Mm-hmm.
in a different way. But I walked away from that still having my own freedom.
Mm-hmm.
I still didn't need her to validate me or to apologize. Like when I severed that need for closure,
Mm-hmm.
I never returned to it.
Okay.
And so even though it was decades later, it didn't rise in me to say, well, aren't you going to say sorry? Or aren't you like that never crossed my mind because
Mm-hmm.
I had literally left it at the cross and I had severed that need for her
Okay.
validation or acknowledgement.
That's really good, Lynette. It's very good. And so then there's nothing left, you know, there's no crumbs still left for
None.
that. And yeah,
Yep.
that's very good. So now tell me this. What would you tell to some individuals who, like you said, they're lost, they feel stuck? Um, how would you suggest for them to move forward? What strategy would you give them?
So the first thing I would say is to pray about it and
Mm,
not, I know that sounds kind of cliche, but God does hear you.
right,
God
right.
hears you. God hears you. He is listening. So I would say to pray about it and understand that you can have a conversation with God.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do the basic, structured or scripted prayers. Like talk to God. Tell God what
Mm-hmm.
you need.
Right,
Tell God how
right.
you feel. Hey, God, be authentic with God. He already knows.
Right.
Tell him how you really, really feel. Tell him what you want to happen. Ask him to guide you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we feel like we can't give God, our honesty or our transparency, but he's
Already
already
knows.
right. He
He's
already
right
knows and
there
he's already
waiting.
right there.
He's just sitting right here waiting.
Yeah.
Okay. Is she coming
Yeah.
today? Let's
Yep.
see.
And
Yeah.
so, like, metaphorically, I think that praying is kind of like you holding this heavy weight and
Mm-hmm.
God standing next to you, like, put it in my hands. Let me hold that for you. Let me take that from you. But you're like, but I can't pray about it. But I can't give this to you because I haven't done X, Y, and Z. And so sometimes we're holding on to our own prayers that are
Mm-hmm.
causing us to hold on to the pain even longer. So giving it to God metaphorically, I think is the first thing that I would do. And the second
Mm-hmm.
thing I would say is create a vision of what you want life to look like, healed
Yes.
and
Mm.
transformed.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because when you can see that and when you can absorb that on a daily basis, and when you can train your mind to know that that life is for you by the
Mm-hmm.
grace of God, then you'll always be putting yourself in alignment toward that space.
Now, do you
If,
find with even with clients that are not going through said traumas that they find that hard to do with visualizing they're better?
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
it's so worth it because once you
it
put a
is.
vision to it,
Yes.
like it awakens you internally. It awakens your mind to something
Mm-hmm.
different.
Almost like the anticipation, for you going to a ball. Well, how would you
Mhm.
prepare?
Yep.
They told you it's on this day, it'll be at this location. How would you prepare? And it's just like that. Well, I want pink is my favorite color. Purple is my favorite color. I want
Hmm.
a ballroom gown that's purple with some bling. Okay, write it down. How do you want your hair? How do you want, write all of that down. That's how
Yep.
you should do your life. You should have
Absolutely.
expectation. Yeah. So,
Yep.
but yeah, they really struggle with that part.
Hmm.
Like fight you.
Right.
Fight like that resistance. It's like, no, well, I don't know. You don't know. Let's just do your favorite place that you would like to visit for a vacation. Yeah, they
Hmm.
struggle with that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate the time that you have given me to help some people who might be listening, even to assist a loved one. So, if
Absolutely.
someone wanted to get your book, and what's the name of this? Oh, Take Flight and Thrive. I love that. Take Flight and Thrive. So
Thank
if
you.
someone wanted to contact you um, to get your services, to get your books, tell the audience how would they reach you.
Yes. So again, thank you so much for sharing your platform with
Hmm.
me. I love what you're doing. Continue to empower the world, one podcast episode at a time.
Thank you.
And again, my name is Linette, and you can reach me at www.linette, Linette, Davis.com.
Okay. And is that where they would get your books too?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good, good. So what lasting piece of advice or strategy would you like to give the audience?
I would just say never give up on your dreams. And
Hmm.
life can change just like
Yes,
this. Your
yes,
blessing could be right around the corner. So stay connected to God, be obedient, and focus on living your best life.
yes, yes. Amen, amen. And figure that out. Stop saying, I don't know. They can tell you what they don't want. I need for you to tell me what you do
You
want.
want.
Yes, yes. Very good, Miss Lynette. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. God bless.
Thank you. And you are welcome. So, all right, good folks. Here we've come to an end to another great episode. I hope that you learned some things, got some simple fundamentals about processing hurts from family members, from emotional and mental trauma. and that you are able to move forward so that you can believe in your better and keep striving until you reach it. All right. Thank you.